Okay.
Okay. Um, I want to tell you about myself and as a Christian um, that wants to help others. When I was working at the jail, I was a corrections officer, and I did my missionary work there. And a couple things that come to my mind was about a young girl that came into the pod where I was working, and I didn't remember her at all. And it was on the midnight shift, and I asked her when she came in to please be quiet. She was coming in from court, but the other young ladies were supposed to be asleep. So she was a little loud, and I had to go back there, and I said, "Didn't I tell you you got to be quiet? You're going to wake everyone up." And the young girl said to me, "Oh, Miss Williams, you don't remember me, do you?" I said, "No, I don't. There's a lot of young ladies coming through here, so I didn't remember her." So she said, "I'm going to make you remember me." Well, she said that when she first came to jail, she was 18 years old, and I was the officer, the relief officer. I came in to give the pod officer her break. And this young lady was very sick off of drugs, and she was on a 5 minute watch, so we had to keep the door open and sit there to watch her. And she got very sick. She was getting sick, and I ran into the cell, and she had a mat on the floor where she could be close to the toilet. So when she got sick, she was right there. So as she was getting ill from withdrawing, I don't know, she looked like a little baby to me. So I just sort of pulled her up on my shoulder like if you had a baby. And I was talking to her, and I never ever would dream that she heard me or that she listened. And so I start witnessing to her, and holding her on my shoulder and patting her and rubbing her
Showing
and
her the love
showing
of God.
her and telling her that the Lord loved her, and that I was sort of scolding her, saying, "Look what you're doing to your body."
Mm-hmm.
And I was explaining to her that her body was the holy temple, and that she's putting these drugs and things into her the holy temple of God, that she belonged to God, and just talking to her, and because she was very sick. So she brought that back to my attention
Mm-hmm.
to make me remember who she was.
Right. And that it
Okay.
helped her.
And how she never forgot that day. She
Mm-hmm.
never forgot me.
Mm-hmm.
And I have had other things happen to me um, with inmates that were out. They gotten out and they've seen me at restaurants, um, walking down the street and the stores and things. And no matter where they are, to as recently as last week,
Mm-hmm.
when I went to my son's Bible study, and a young lady called out to me, and I went over and I said, "Oh, do I know you?" Because I didn't recognize her. And she
Who is that? Is that Brian?
she said, "You probably don't remember me, but wherever I go, whenever I see you, I will always speak to you, because I was in jail,
Right.
in the county jail,
And you
and
showed me the love of God.
you came over every morning to have prayer with us, and I remember that."
Mm-hmm.
Another young lady in the hospital saw me walking down. I recognized her, but I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't remember her name, and she ran up and gave me a hug,